You want success, you better kill the fantasy that someone's coming to save you. No one's coming. Not your parents, not your friends, not some magical opportunity, just you, your choices, your actions, your discipline. That's it. You either build the life you want, or you get crushed under the weight of the one you've tolerated. You are either the hero of your story or the excuse for why it never happened. And if you're not prepared to be brutally honest with yourself, then close this right now. Because this isn't comfort. This is confrontation with the truth you've been avoiding. You're not behind in life because the world is unfair. You're behind because you chose comfort. You chose to sleep in. You chose to scroll instead of study. You chose to believe that one day somehow it'll all work out, that success will just fall into your lap because you deserve it. You don't deserve anything you didn't fight for. And if you haven't fought, you haven't earned. Life rewards action, not potential. You could have the mind of a genius, the heart of a lion, and the strength of a warrior. But if you do nothing with it, you're nothing but a waste of talent, and no one is going to care. Men nowadays are soft. They whine when it's hard. They beg for breaks. They drown in distractions. They sit on the sidelines of life watching others build empires and wonder why they're still broke. The truth is, most of you don't want success. You want it easy. You want to win without suffering. But that's not how the world works. Pain is the currency of transformation. You either pay the price to change or you pay the cost of regret. And regret will break you in ways failure never could. Look around. The world is designed to keep you weak. Everything is built to pacify you, to keep you sedated, obedient, and average. They feed you junk, feed your mind lies, feed your ego with fake dopamine, and tell you that ambition is toxic. No, mediocrity is toxic. Laziness is poison, and you're swallowing it every day by choosing excuses over effort. Every excuse you make is another brick in the prison you've built around your potential. You know what's rare? A man who takes full accountability. A man who looks in the mirror and says, if my life's a mess, it's because I let it be. That kind of man is dangerous because he's not waiting on anyone. He's not blaming anyone. He's too busy building. That's who you need to become. Ruthless with your discipline, obsessed with your evolution, relentless in your action. You don't need a second chance. You need to stop wasting the first one. The clock is ticking. You either start now or you stay stuck pretending you don't know why your life won't change. There was a time in my life when I had nothing. No money, no guidance, no roadmap, just raw frustration. I'd sit there in a small room, no heating, barely any food, lights flickering. And I remember staring at the ceiling thinking, is this really it? Is this what life has for me? And for a split second, I almost believed it. I almost let myself accept the lie that my environment defined my future. But then something snapped inside me, not like a movie moment, not some divine lightning bolt, just a quiet, violent decision. A decision that no one was coming to save me, and if I didn't become the man who could claw his way out, then I'd rot in that room forever. That moment changed everything. Not because my life suddenly got easier, but because I realized the power was mine all along. The world doesn't owe you understanding. It doesn't care what you've been through. It only responds to action. I watched people around me waste their lives. Dudes playing video games for 10 hours straight, complaining about the system, waiting for some imaginary opportunity to show up at their door. And I knew right then, I would never be like them. I wasn't better than them, but I was more honest with myself. I didn't lie about why I was broke. I didn't sugarcoat my laziness. I looked myself in the mirror and said, you're not doing enough, period. That kind of honesty hurts, but it's what separates winners from everyone else. Everyone wants change. But no one wants responsibility. They want to be kings without lifting the sword. But that sword, your discipline, your habits, your mindset, you have to wield it every single day. There are no shortcuts, no secret doors, no easy routes. It's war, and you win it through daily execution. I remember building my business from scratch. No investors, no connections, just grind. I'd wake up before the sun, grind all day, collapse at night, then do it again. And while I was doing that, people were laughing behind my back. They called it a phase, said I was obsessed, that I should enjoy life more. But I understood something they didn't. Freedom isn't handed out, it's seized. And if you want to own your future, you have to take full ownership of your present. That means no more blaming your parents, your past, your city, your boss, your genetics, your upbringing. The moment you blame something external, you've handed away your power. That's why they stay stuck. They'd rather point fingers than build walls. They'd rather explain failure than do what's necessary to change it. But here's the part no one talks about. There's beauty in that struggle. There's a deep pride in knowing that everything you've built came from your own hands. You didn't inherit it. You didn't win a lottery. You earned it. And that makes every dollar, every win, every level feel real. Because you built it while bleeding. You built it when no one believed in you. You built it while you were tired, broken, alone. That's what makes success addictive. Not the money, but the ownership. It's yours. And you can look any man in the eye and say, I made this. People ask me now, how did you do it? And the answer is painfully simple. I didn't stop. That's it. I kept moving, even when I was scared, even when I failed, even when I had no clue what was next. I just refused to freeze. Fear is natural. Paralysis is a choice. You're allowed to be afraid, but you're not allowed to do nothing, because every time you delay, you dig a deeper hole. And the harder truth is this: no one is too broken to act. You're just too used to being comfortable in your misery. But the second you stop letting comfort dictate your pace, you become lethal. Because discomfort becomes your home. Pain becomes your compass. And movement becomes your identity. So if you're sitting there right now, drowning in self-pity, wondering why life hasn't blessed you yet, understand this: the universe responds to force, not wishes. You want something? Take it. You want respect? Earn it. You want change? Create it. And if you fall, good. Learn, adapt, come back smarter. You don't build strength by avoiding the storm. You build it by walking straight through it with your chin up and your fists clenched. The world will test you. That's its job. But your job is to fight back every single time with more focus, more action, and more resolve than you had yesterday. You weren't born to sit in the shadows. You weren't built for average. And deep down, you know that. You know you're capable of more. You can feel it when you're quiet, that hunger, that agitation, that uncomfortable voice in your head that says there's something greater inside you. Let it out, but you bury it with distractions, with doubt, with weakness. And yet, it never dies, because greatness, it waits, and it watches, and it whispers. The second you take responsibility, I'll unleash everything you've ever wanted. You ever just lie there at night and the room's quiet, no music, no noise, no fake distractions, and something inside you starts to scream, not loud, but deep. That cold, gnawing voice that says, you're behind, you're wasting time, you're letting your potential rot. That's not anxiety, that's truth. That's your conscience suffocating under your comfort. And the reason it hurts so much, because you know it's right. You know damn well you could be further, stronger, richer, sharper, but you keep betraying yourself. Every time you hit snooze, every time you scroll instead of build, every time you delay the work. That's not the world punishing you. People think the scariest thing in life is failure. It's not. The real nightmare is success that never came because you never acted. It's dying with everything still locked inside you. And that's what most will do. They'll live quiet, cowardly lives, excuses wrapped in comfort. They'll convince themselves that trying is risky, that effort is painful, that action can wait. But guess what? The clock, you're running out of chances disguised as tomorrow's. And the harsh truth, most people won't lose to others. They'll lose to their own hesitation, their own softness, their own unwillingness to do the hard thing when it counted most. I need you to understand this clearly. No one's coming. Not your parents, not your friends, not some billionaire mentor. You've got one man, one shot, one lifetime. You. That's it. And while you keep hoping for motivation, someone else is out there grinding through the mud, sharpening their edge, building their empire without applause, without help, without excuses. Discipline isn't a luxury, it's survival. Every second you waste isn't just time lost, it's opportunity burned. And the worst part, you can never get it back. You don't get a refund on wasted potential. Look around you. The world is built by those who moved, not those who waited. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to move while it's messy. You're supposed to build while you're scared. That's how winners are made. You think champions waited until everything felt perfect? Hell no. They acted through chaos. They forged clarity through movement. Clarity comes from doing. Power comes from momentum. If you want confidence, you earn it by doing the very things that terrify you. And every time you run from fear, you reinforce weakness. Every time you lean into it, you unlock strength you didn't know you had. You see, the universe is ruthless, but it's fair. It gives to the ones who demand, who show up daily, who bleed for their vision. You think you'll randomly stumble into greatness by coasting? No chance. Comfort is the killer of kings. It dulls your edge, softens your hunger, numbs your urgency. And the saddest thing, most people choose it willingly. They choose slow death over fast growth. They choose dopamine over discipline. You don't have to. You can reject it all. You can choose the path of fire, of intensity, of absolute responsibility. Because the second you say, it's all on me, that's the second your life starts changing. Let me hit you with something most won't tell you. Your future self is watching you, and he's either gonna thank you or hate you. He'll either look back and say, you made me unstoppable, or he'll curse the day you gave in. Regret isn't just pain, it's punishment, because it's self-inflicted. You knew what needed to be done, you had the energy, you had the time, you just didn't move. That's the heaviest weight a man can carry, knowing he had the power but lacked the will. Right now, someone with less intelligence, less talent, less time is building the life you dream of, because he decided to act. That should scare you. Not to make you feel weak, but to wake you up. Fear can be fuel if you let it. Let it push you, let it burn you into someone unrecognizable. Because the real fear isn't in failing, it's in staying the same. It's looking back 5 years from now and realizing you haven't moved an inch. Same bank account, same body, same mindset. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And guess what? You're not owed change. You earn it. With sweat, with scars, with relentless execution. So here's the deal. This is your call, your moment, your red line. You can keep lying to yourself, pretending you'll start tomorrow, convincing yourself that something magical will spark one day and you'll suddenly transform, or you can face the brutal mirror and say, I've wasted enough time. I'm done waiting. You owe it to your future, to your bloodline, to your potential. But most importantly, you owe it to the man inside who knows he's meant for more. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're just one decision away from becoming him. Take it. You want to win? Then stop whispering to the world and start roaring at it. Success doesn't come to the polite. It bows to the obsessed. The man who wakes up every morning and sees the battlefield instead of a bedroom, that's the man who builds empires. You keep looking for motivation like it's some magical gust of wind that'll push your boat forward. Motivation is a lie. Action is king. You act first, the fire follows. Discipline is the parent of results, not inspiration. You move, you bleed, you suffer, and then you rise. Because every scar you earn in silence turns into strength that echoes louder than any excuse you'll ever make. Most men live like spectators, watching others chase what they only dream about. They scroll, they envy, they daydream. But here's the truth no one wants to face. Watching winners doesn't make you one. Liking their posts, admiring their hustle, none of it moves your life an inch forward. Only work, only grind, only obsession. Every second you admire another man's success is the second you abandon your own. It's time you stop fantasizing and start building. Your empire isn't out there waiting. It's buried underneath a mountain of effort you've been avoiding. Dig! People don't understand the cost of inaction until it's too late. They think comfort is free. No. Comfort is a loan with a crushing interest rate. You're paying for it with your soul, your strength, your legacy. Every time you take the easy path, you're selling a piece of your future for a cheap dopamine hit. And the sad part? Most will sell it all, bit by bit, until they're empty, until the light's gone, until they realize that greatness was never out of reach. They just never reached for it. You weren't defeated. You surrendered. And I'm telling you now, don't you dare be that man. Don't you dare sit in the shadows of life and pretend you were never meant for the spotlight. You were. But the spotlight isn't gifted, it's taken, earned in the dark, forged in discipline, built in brutal solitude. And if you think the path to power is paved with luck or timing, you've already lost. No one is coming to crown you. No one is going to pull you from your mediocrity and hand you a throne. The throne is carved by the one who refuses to kneel. You know how I built my life? I made a decision. One. that no matter what came my way, fear, doubt, failure, fatigue, I would never let it stop me, not once. Because power is born the moment you say, I don't care how I feel, I care what I do. That's the edge. That's the weapon. Emotion doesn't rule a man, action does. Let others whine about being tired. Let them debate whether they feel like it. While they talk, you execute. While they pause, you move. Because when the dust settles, it's not the loudest voice that wins. It's the most relentless hand. You see, there's a monster inside you. It's wild, it's hungry. But you spent years sedating it with excuses, keeping it chained in comfort. You've been told to be calm, to play it safe, to wait your turn. Burn that advice. Tear it apart. You were never meant to be tamed. You were built for war, for fire, for domination. And every time you sit back and swallow your potential, that monster dies a little more. But here's the beauty. It's not dead. It's waiting for you to take ownership, for you to stop apologizing, for you to say, this life is mine and I'm gonna take it piece by piece. Okay? So, listen to me. You don't need permission. Not from your past. Not from your pain. Not from your doubts. You give yourself permission by doing. You create proof by performance. You write legacy by movement. Your story doesn't change when you feel different. It changes when you act different. That's the ultimate law. That's the foundation of men who conquer. They move before they believe, and that movement creates belief, and that movement creates belief. One brutal rep, one focused hour, one iron-willed day at a time. That's how kings are made. And if you think this world owes you something, you're already finished. No one owes you understanding. No one owes you success. No one cares about your story until you win. And that's the cold truth. But guess what? That's the gift, because it means it's all in your hands. All of it. Your future, your power, your evolution. It's waiting for you to rise. No gatekeepers, no barriers, just the man in the mirror and whether he's brave enough to go all in. So now ask yourself, what version of you wakes up tomorrow? The one who repeats this cycle of guilt, shame, and wasted hours? Or the one who reclaims control, who steps into discomfort, who starts building a legacy, brick by brick, with blood in his hands and fire in his chest? Don't waste another sunrise. Don't waste another chance. You are the answer. You are the rescue plan. You are the revolution. This is the part where you stop listening and start deciding. You've heard enough. You've consumed enough quotes, enough speeches, enough motivation to fill a lifetime. And yet you're still stuck, still idle, still pretending you need more information when what you really need is movement. You don't need another plan. You need to execute the one you've been ignoring. That's the difference between the few who make it and the masses who never do. They don't wait for the perfect feeling. They start. They don't whine about pressure. They invite it, because pressure is the forge, and you either burn in it or become unbreakable. Right now, you're in the most dangerous position a man can be in. Halfway aware, halfway asleep. You know you're capable of more, but you're not doing more. That's not confusion, that's cowardice. The worst kind of pain is knowing you had the power to change everything but chose comfort instead. The man who waits for motivation will always lose to the man who just gets up and moves. And make no mistake, life is moving whether you are or not. Every second that slips through your fingers is one you never get back. There is no pause button, no do-overs, only forward or fade. Think life will slow down and let you catch up? No, it'll bury you. The world doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to results. It doesn't measure your thoughts, your feelings, your potential. It measures what you built, what you earned, what you did. So if your results aren't there, then you've got no one to blame but yourself. That's the truth most won't say out loud because they're afraid of it. But I'm not here to protect your feelings. I'm here to wake you up before your life becomes a graveyard of missed chances and empty dreams. You've been lied to, told that the system is holding you back, told that you're a victim, told that things will eventually work out if you just stay patient. Lies, all of it. Success doesn't come to the patient, it comes to the ruthless. The world rewards the man who acts now, who grabs life by the throat, who looks at his reflection and says, everything changes because I said so. That's what power is. Not a title, not a bank balance, but a decision backed by consistent, violent action. The throne is built by the man who stops waiting and starts taking. So this is your moment. Right now, you can either go back to your old habits, your old patterns, your old narrative, where everything is someone else's fault and nothing ever changes, or you can make the one decision that transforms everything: responsibility. You stop blaming your parents, your upbringing, the economy, the distractions. You own your failures like a warrior wears scars, not with shame, but with pride. Every setback is a receipt of effort, and every man who keeps showing up eventually gets paid. The question isn't if you're capable, you are. The question is, will you endure? Will you suffer without quitting? Will you rise even when it's dark, even when no one claps, even when it feels like no one's watching? Because real success is built in silence. It doesn't come from applause. It comes from doing the work when your hands hurt and your mind screams to stop. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Remember that every time your comfort whispers its seductive lies. Don't tell me about your goals. Show me your calendar, show me your schedule, show me your scars. That's how I'll know who you are. Because talk is free, words are cheap, action is the only currency that life accepts. And here's the beauty. Once you start, once you commit, once you decide with your entire being that this is who you are now, the world starts to shift. People notice. Opportunities show up. Not because of luck, but because you created gravity. Winners don't chase, they attract by becoming undeniable. So get up right now, not later, not after you finish growing, not tomorrow morning when it's convenient. Now get up and do the thing. Make the call, write the plan, hit the gym, build the project, launch the brand, whatever it is. Stop thinking, start moving. Momentum is oxygen. Movement is life. If you can take one step, you can take 1,000. And that's how you escape average. Not by magic, not by luck, but by stacking one savage day on top of another until you're so far ahead, no one can even see you anymore. There's a version of you that terrifies the world. Focused, disciplined, relentless. It's not a fantasy. He's a choice. A daily one. Every action you take is either feeding that version or killing him. Choose wisely. Every day you choose comfort, you betray your potential. But every day you choose effort, you step closer to that beast buried under your fears. The future isn't written yet, but your hands are on the pen. Write something worth reading.